Of course, here in Chicago, this is where the Obama Presidential Center is going to be open. They have been working on that for the last several years. And even from the beginning, local residents were talking about a fair share deal in terms of it being built, jobs and things along those lines. And the reality is, it has not always been a perfect situation. People assume that everyone has been excited about this happening. That is not the case. Folks want to say, they want to make sure that who benefits from this. Will it be the residents in the area, in the city as well? Joining me right now is She-nella Miller. She's the organizer, Not Me, We, and the Obama CBA Coalition, along with Brandon Patterson. Glad to have both of you. So first of all, the folks who don't know, explain exactly what the Obama CBA Coalition is.
Sure. Thanks for having us. So the Obama CBA Coalition has been organizing since 2015 around the issue of displacement and housing affordability near the Obama Center. So originally, earlier on, our goal was an actual community benefits agreement with the foundation. But after several years of work, when it became apparent that that was not going to happen, we sort of pivoted, shifted our focus to the city, and we've been trying to push the city to pass a housing legislation to address the issue of housing affordability.
Now, first, you say community benefits agreement. So there was, so one was never signed between. What's going on? We can't hear him. Okay, let's see if we try your microphone. Let's try this one here. Talking to that one. Let's see if they can hear.
Y'all didn't hear nothing I said?
How's that? All right, they can hear you. All right, now go ahead. So just restate what you said.
Okay, cool. So the Obama CBA Coalition has been organizing since 2015 around the issue of displacement and housing affordability near the Obama Center. So initially, our goal was an actual community benefits agreement with the foundation, Obama Foundation. But after several years, when it became apparent that that was not going to happen, we shifted our focus and pivoted our focus to the city and then pushing the city to pass housing legislation to address housing affordability and the risk of displacement in black, predominantly working class neighborhoods near the center.
So you say folks have been displaced. How many people, how many homeowners? I mean, what are we talking about? What are the numbers?
Yeah, well, look, it's you know, I can tell you what the conditions are in South Shore, right? It's hard to.
No. Here's what I mean. We're talking. If we're talking about replacing. We're talking about providing opportunities. Again, are we talking about 50, 100, 200, 300, 500? Are we talking about homeless people? As I'm trying to get an understanding of how significant the displacement is.
Right. So I can tell you about the conditions in South Shore, for example, and the risk of displacement in South Shore, right? So, for example, South Shore is 77% renters. The median income in South Shore is less than $36,000. 53% of residents in South Shore, that includes both homeowners and renters, are already housing cost burdened, right? Meaning they're spending more than they can actually afford month to month on their housing costs. In addition to that, South Shore for the past decade has been the #1 neighborhood of all the neighborhoods in Chicago in terms of the rate of eviction filings. In addition to that, the 5th Ward, which includes South Shore and Woodlawn, it happens to include Hyde Park, which we're sitting in, as well as the site of the center, is the #1 ward of 50 wards in the city in terms of rate of eviction filings. And so what we have now is a situation where you've got long-standing issues with housing affordability in the area that are now being exacerbated by real estate speculation that is happening near the center.
Right, but what I'm still want to have an understanding is numbers. What are we talking about? How many people, how many homes? Because if you're going to go to the city, look, I've covered housing my entire career. If you've got 500 homes impacted and you're talking about displaced housing, I'm going to the city. My whole deal is we need 500 homes for these folks to be affordable housing. So what's that number? But that way, now, folks, I have a number to associate with what I'm asking for.
Right. So, again, it's hard to measure how many people have already actually been displaced. What I can name, right, is how many people are at risk of displacement.
And how many people?
Because of, well, like I said, 77% of the folks.
No. That's a percentage. I need a number. So what I'm saying is, again, if I'm going to the city,
I don't remember the population of South Shore or Woodlawn or the other neighborhoods in the area off the top of my head right now.
Gotcha. So when you're going to the city and you're at, so what do you want?
We can
right. But
in conversations with the city, we can pull those numbers.
Right. But that's important because now the people out there know what the ask is.
Right.
So the ask is not a percentage. The ask is the number. And so if 1,000 homeowners, renters, are being displaced, then to the city, hey, you need to be replacing 1,000 of these homes and not forcing these people to flee other particular areas. And so, because I'm always with our audience, being very specific about what the ask is.
Sure.
Okay. And so as this has been going on, so you say you're now going to the city. Have those conversations taken place? What have they been like? What are they saying?
Yeah. So we have had conversations. So I guess to start, we proposed a robust, comprehensive package of a range of policy proposals that would support homeowners, condo owners, and renters alike, as well as property owners, right?
And what's that? What's the proposal?
Right. So just to give you an example of a few. Cash rental assistance for folks who are struggling to pay their rent. Mortgage assistance, down payment assistance for first-time home buyers, so folks can afford to buy a home and
cash rental assistance,
right?
Mortgage assistance.
Right.
Got it.
So we are pushing for a mandate that would ensure that 30% of in all new developments in the neighborhood, residential developments, 30% of the units will be set aside for affordable housing.
And how are you defining affordable housing?
I think the number is, so 75% of units would be, I think, 30 to 60% of AMI for the area, and then the other 20%.
Okay, hold on. Again, ain't nobody at home know what AMI is.
Okay.
How much are we talking about?
How much money are we talking about?
Yeah, because again,
so the entire package would cost around $63 million in the first year, and then there are buckets that we're proposing that will be recurring annually, and so it would be a smaller number than 63 that would be recurring out annually. But in the first year, it would be $63 million, which is pennies compared to, for example, the $1.3 billion that the city is invested in, say, Lincoln Yards, right? Another mega development project on the north side, right? And so what we're calling on the city to do is invest in ensuring that folks have the stability, right, to be able to stay here and benefit.
Right.
That black folks and working folks over here can afford to stick around. And the way they invest in other places. And
who is your lead sponsor on the council moving that forward? Who is that?
Our lead sponsor?
Yeah, in terms of have you got buy-in from actual aldermen? And so who is saying, hey, I'm with you on this one, and I'm going to help push this through?
Right. So that's the thing, right? In 2020, we were successful in getting the city council to pass a housing bill which covers Woodlawn, which is another predominantly black working-class neighborhood near the center and near South Shore. Our neighborhood, well, the neighborhood that I currently live in, grew up in, and that She-nella has had to move from recently, was cut out of that bill by our outgoing mayor, Lori Lightfoot, and our outgoing alderperson, Leslie Hairston. And so we are now calling on the next mayor and the next alderperson to introduce and pass this bill. There are currently, you asked, what are we hearing from aldermen? There are currently 2 candidates in a runoff, right, for the city council seat that would represent the 5th Ward, which includes South Shore and Woodlawn and other neighborhoods. One is on record saying that they support our demands without qualification. The other is on record saying that they support the vast majority of what's in the package. Brandon Johnson, who was here earlier, has said that he would do this. We haven't spoken to Paul Vallis, but and then I would add.
Have y'all made contact with the Vallis campaign?
We haven't. Right. We haven't. But then I would.
Why not? I mean, he's running for mayor.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's something we'll do. I think we don't expect to get much,
No. Okay. This is just, here's the deal. It's just like when I came here.
Right.
We call the campaign. It's up to them to decide if they want to come back.
Right.
There are 2 people running. He might win. So the reality is, I think if you're trying to get it, you need to reach out to him to get him on record as to where he stands on this before folks actually vote. So, but if you don't contact him, then the folks don't know where he stands. That's on you.
Well, certainly it is something that we will do. I want to add, though, you asked about, I just offered, all the support, city council support, what was going on with the mayor. I want to add that on election day several weeks ago, the coalition had 2 referendums on the ballot locally, right, in South Shore and Woodlawn. There was a referendum on the ballot in 9 precincts in South Shore, 2 in Woodlawn, calling for asking residents would they support proposals like what's included in the demands that we've developed, which, by the way, we developed over a month-long research process, working with policymakers, lawyers.
No, I know. I've been following it. I know.
Right, and community members. Right, and the referendum in South Shore passed with 88% of the vote across all the 9 precincts, and the referendum in Woodlawn passed with similar levels of support. And so, the data is clear, right, in terms of the vulnerability and the need to address this issue. And also now community members, right, are on record to say they want their next alderperson and their next mayor to get this done. And so that's what we're expecting, the folks to do. And we're going to continue to push and to organize to make sure that it happens.
Well, I'd still be interested to know if, again, where does Paul Vallis stand on it? And, again, it needs to be asked. And so my whole deal is between now and April 4th, y'all need to be asking him and force him to be on record.
Sure.
Because is he on record? Has this been discussed anywhere?
I'm not sure. I don't recall if Hal was on record speaking about this particular issue specifically.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all let me know if y'all contact him and then what he says.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Huh? Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Good luck. We'll be following, see what happens. Thanks a bunch.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it.
This is about covering us.
Invest in black-owned media.
Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks.
We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible.
Checks and money orders go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.